Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Adriana. I'm a knitter on the east coast of Canada, and where I live, we're transitioning from summer to fall. The mornings and evenings are definitely significantly cooler now. The days still get quite warm, which is nice, but fall is right around the corner, and I definitely have the fall knitting itch happening. So today I want to share my fall knitting plans with you all. I have a lot of patterns on my fall 2024 to knit list. I know it's unrealistic. I'm not going to actually make all these things, but a lot of these are more like, I don't know exactly which thing I want to make, but I have options. I'm probably going to make one of these things in different categories. Yeah, definitely feeling a lot more inspired this season. I didn't make a summer knitting plans video because I didn't really have any. I didn't feel very inspired to knit this summer. I did knit continuously throughout the summer, but I didn't have any, or I guess I didn't have an abundance of inspiration and plans, really. I just kind of made a project, and if something came up after, then I did that project. Whereas I'm feeling a lot more now okay, I have a lot of things I want to make. I need to actually make plans and see what's realistic. So that is what I'm going to share with you today. As for categories in my fall knitting plans, I have some that are just items for myself. I also have a number of birthdays in the fall that family members that I like to knit for. So I have some gift knits to be preparing for, as well as looking towards Christmas. I would like to knit some things for my family. So I'll talk about all of those things, a nice little range of different items that I'm planning to make. I think I'll start with the items that I'm planning to make for myself. I've got Ravelry up on my laptop here with all of the different patterns. And yeah, so if I'm looking down, or I guess I'll set it over here so I'm not looking down all the time. So first, I do have a couple sweaters that I have my eye on for making this fall. And the first sweater that I would like to make is the sweater number 18 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. Okay, I'm just gonna silence my notifications. Okay, yeah, sweater number 18 from My Favorite Things Knitwear. This pattern I first saw from Emma Robinson from Woolly Mammoth Fiber. She made this sweater, I think with one of her yarns that she dyes, and I love the way it looks on her. The project photos for this sweater I don't think would draw me to making this sweater, but seeing it on her made me want to make it. So I actually did start making it. It's here, and I've made a lot of progress on it. The yarns I'm using are the Sandnes Garn Peer Gynt yarn in the color 9572, as well as the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the color Bottle Green. So together, the colors are they're not a perfect match, but I like that when you're holding two colors together. I like when they're a little bit different. And this is what it looks like together. And I'm really enjoying both the knitting process of it, because you're doing something different, almost not every round, but every few rounds you're doing something a little bit different. And so I'm enjoying the knitting process of this, and I really like how it's looking. It's going by so fast. When I first started this, I was going through, like I was joining a new ball every day of yarn of this. They're only 50-gram balls, so they're not huge, but I think I have 14 balls of the Peer Gynt total. So I think for the first week, like the first 7 days, it was like every day I was attaching a new ball. I was like, this is going to be done in 2 weeks, which would be by far my fastest sweater project. I did slow down a little bit with, I had some issues with the neck. I'll talk about it in my next like podcast episode. But anyway, it is going quite quick and I'm really liking how it's looking. So my first fall plan is almost done actually. Yeah, so sweater number 18, that was my first fall plan. Other sweater options that I can see myself making for this fall. The first one is the Iun sweater by Anne Fiskum Sunday. This sweater is another one that I first saw from Emma Robinson. And again, the pattern photos that are just like the sample project photos on Ravelry, I don't think I would be drawn to this sweater just from these photos, but the version that Emma Robinson made and like seeing how it fits her and how she wears it and how she styles it has really made me want to make this sweater as well. I'm a little bit hesitant with the super long ribbing that starts like really up high, and with the split down the side, I'm not totally sold on that yet. So I don't know if I'll actually make this, but I go back and forth. Like some days I'm like, yes, like I want to make this. And then some days I'm like, I don't know if I'd actually wear it. So this is it's up in the air still a little bit. Another sweater that I'm really interested in making is the porcelain sweater by Lane Home Samso. Oh, either the porcelain sweater, I think it has porcelain sweater solo as the full name, or the porcelain yoke sweater, which I hadn't seen before, but just as I was like gathering all these patterns together, I saw that there was just the regular porcelain sweater, and then she's released another one that has like the yoke is, well, I guess it looks like the one is a drop shoulder, just the porcelain sweater, and then it looks like the yoke sweater is, I'm guessing it's like a circular yoke. This would be, I think would be my first color work. I think it would be my first color work. Sweater for sure, but color work project maybe? I'll have to go back and check. Now, I've always thought this sweater was so pretty, but I don't like wearing blue. So, and I wasn't sure if it would look like that porcelain effect is because of the blue, like the blue on the white is that porcelain look, right? Yeah, I wasn't sure if I would actually want to make this because I don't know, I wasn't sure what it would look like with a different color, if it would have the same effect or not. But I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but it was in a video and it was a like white or cream color, main color, and then a green for the color work for the porcelain design. And it looked so good. And so that gave me the confidence, I guess, to maybe want to try this pattern with a different color. I'm thinking either a green color or maybe like a rusty color like the sweater could look really good. So that is why this is on my list. There's other sweaters that I have my eye on, but I want to keep it realistic to what I can actually knit. And actually between those 3 sweaters, I'll probably only end up making 2. The sweater number 18 for sure, because like I'm not too far away from finishing that. And then in this moment right now, I'm leaning toward the porcelain sweater, but we'll see if it switches to the Ian sweater. Also, sorry, the porcelain sweater is by, okay, I don't know how to say her name, but she also goes by Lynette. So yes. Another sweater that is on my to be knit fall knitting list is the stick season sweater. And this one wouldn't be for me. I would like to knit this for my husband. Rebecca Clow, sorry, that's the designer, Rebecca Clow. She has pattern photos, like samples for men. So I think it would be a good pattern to try for my first man's sweater. So yeah, my husband expressed some interest in like having a hand knit sweater, which I would love to knit one for him. But I'm also like, I know he's a little bit particular about like textures and stuff. So I wasn't going to like force it on him. But yeah, he expressed some interest in having a hand knit sweater by me. And I thought that this pattern would be a really nice one as like my first attempt at a men's sweater. And from what I can tell, I don't have the pattern yet, but from what I can tell from the pattern description is that there are, there's like a guide or like instructions to help you adjust it for like fitting a man's body. That's in the pattern, or yeah, in the pattern when you buy it. I also want to knit some more socks for myself. I feel like in the fall, that's when I start wearing socks again. And of course, I'm going to want to wear like my cozy hand knit socks. So some socks that are on my radar are the DRK Everyday Socks by Andrea Mowry. I have tried this pattern once before and it didn't go well. I made them way too small. And it's a little bit deceiving because this is a totally ribbed sock, like on the bottom of your foot, everything. And so it really cinches in. So while I was knitting it, I was like, this looks really small, but it's ribbing. So I know that it's going to stretch out and it'll fit. And then when I finished it, I was like, oh no, this is way too small. So I had to, rip it out. And I ended up knitting a different sock after that with that yarn. So I haven't ever tried this pattern again, but I'm thinking I would like to give it a go again, maybe this fall. I don't think I have any yarn that I want to use for it. I'm sure I could go looking around in my stash to see what I have, but I actually don't think I have any yarn that fits for this project. I'm also interested in the Sunday socks by Petite Knit. I've been in the past really focusing on making socks that are like thin enough to fit into my shoes, but I spend most of my time at home. Like I work from home, I'm at home with my kids all day. I mean, like we go out, but I'm at home like 90% of the time. So I thought, why am I so like dead set on making socks that will fit into shoes and like my winter boots and stuff when most of the time I'm just wearing them around my house and like my big slippers. So I thought trying a thicker sock could be fun and really cozy. The Sunday socks by Petite Knit, obviously it's a popular pattern, and I think that's the kind of look I'm going for, just like a really basic ribbed sock, but on with a much thicker yarn. I'm thinking I'll use this yarn for it. This is Briggs & Little Regal 2-ply yarn, And the color is just natural white. Like it's an off-white creamy color. This is a very rustic yarn. I have used it once in a sweater project, and now that I've worked with other yarns, I can tell that it's very rustic. So I think it will be good for socks. I do have a couple pairs of socks knit with Briggs and Little yarn, and they are my best wearing socks. They get softer with every wash, and I think I've only just put a hole in one of the heels of one of the socks. Whereas I have other socks that I've made with not as rustic, like hard working yarn. And I've worn holes in the heels of those a lot faster. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'll use thicker yarn than normal to make like really thick, cozy socks for the winter with, and I want it to be like really tall too. So really what I'm wanting, I think I can get all of that in the Sunday socks. So yeah, I think I'll try that one. I also have the Cozy Coffee socks by Cozy Coffee Knits on my radar as a potential like family gift knit, like make a pair for myself, my husband, and our 2 kids for Christmas maybe. I did a pair of socks for each of us last year for Christmas, and I really liked it. So I thought I could make kind of like a tradition out of it maybe. Last year I did just like a really basic ribbed sock, and I think I just made up the patterns myself for those. But this year I thought it could be fun to do like a little bit different style of a sock. And I like that, I don't know, the like first photo you see on the project page is like, there's an adult size and a baby size being worn in the first picture. And I'm like, oh, even though a lot of socks have like the range from like toddler up to adult, I don't know, this one just was like, oh, this could be nice family socks. I like the pattern on the socks, like the texture is really nice. So I do have this on my radar as like a potential family matching socks gift knit for Christmas. The next kind of category is gift knits. I have my sister, cousin, and my daughter's birthdays all in the fall season. And these are all people that I would like to knit something for their birthdays. So for my sister, I was thinking of doing a matching hat and mittens set similar to what I did for my mom earlier in the year. The pattern that I'm thinking of doing is the Lopi braided hat and mittens by Haldora J, which is the same pattern I've done before. I have some more yarn that could work for this. It's not close by, but I do have some. Kind of in a dark brown, although her hair is dark brown, so I don't know if that would look good. Because of that, I'm thinking of doing something totally different from like a hat and mittens set, and thinking of maybe doing a pillow cover, like a throw pillow cover. Of course, the Stella quilt cushion is really popular by Laura Penrose. That is on my radar as like a potential gift knit for her. I also saw, just like through, I don't know how I came across these, but I saw the Plaid About You throw pillow by Alyssa George.
I realized while editing this that this is not a knit pattern. This is actually crochet and weaving. So I don't think I'll be doing this one.
And the Hazelwood Halo pillow by Anna Siavsvard Knitwear. I'll have links to all of these patterns in the description below. I thought, yeah, all of these pillows could be a good option for my sister for a gift for her birthday this year. They're all very, I feel like, fall inspired, and fall is my sister's favorite season, so they would all be good for her. My cousin uses a hot water bottle in the colder seasons. So I would like to knit her a hot water bottle cover. I'm thinking of doing the Fisherman's Hottie Sweater pattern by Sarah Hengstman. It's just one color and it's got some nice patterns on it, a little bit of texture. It looks very, well, it looks like a sweater and it's in the name. So I think that could be a fun thing to knit. I've never knit a hot water bottle cover before. So it could be something fun that it's like, it's different, trying something new. My cousin also loves chickens. So of course, the Emotional Support Chicken by Annette Corsino, of course, caught my eye to be like a gift knit for her. But I'm leaning more towards the hot water bottle cover than the chicken. My daughter's birthday is in later fall, and of course I want to make something for her birthday. I'm thinking of doing the Festival Sweater by Petite Knit. I think it's a really cute pattern for a little girl. I don't have yarn for it yet, and I'm not totally sold that like this is what I want to make her, because I want to make like a matching sweater for her and my son for Christmas. So I don't know if I want to knit her a sweater for her birthday and then another sweater for Christmas, or if I want to do something else for her birthday. I'm not sure yet, but I think this sweater would be super cute on her, and it's definitely on my radar as like a potential gift knit for her. I mentioned that I would like to make matching sweaters for my son and daughter for Christmas, and I'm not decided, like completely sure which one I want to make yet. I have 5 patterns that I'm looking at, and I go back and forth on which one I want to make almost like every day. So first one is Anchor Sweater by Petite Knit. This one I think would be really cute in just like 2 different, would I do 2 different colors? Yeah, I think I would do 2 different colors, and then just like the style of the sweater is the same. So it's like a match in that way. It says it's worked from the top down. The yoke is worked in sections of rib with increases in the round, followed by classic raglan increases when the stockinette stitch section begins. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I like the texture that it has up at the top of the yoke, and I don't know, I think it's a really like basic sweater that it's good to have for kids. Like, yeah, just a basic knit sweater with a little bit of texture happening up top. A similar one is called the Dusk Pullover by Paula Lem, and it's the same idea of having like a ribbed top, like ribbed yoke with increases in the rib, and then stockinette below. This one is a little different. It looks like there's none of those raglan increases once the stockinette begins. I mean, of course I could be wrong, but it looks like where the sleeve split happens, that is where the increases stop. Yeah, which Petite Knit sweater, it doesn't look like it does that. Like it doesn't go as deep, the ribbing. Because of that, I think the fit will be a little bit different. I think the fit of the Anchor sweater, just like from looking at project photos, fits a little bit nicer than this Dusk Pullover one. But I really like what they did in this pattern with the like micro stripes happening on the body. So on the body and the sleeves. So that could be something that I could do with the Anchor sweater. I don't know. Another Petite Knit pattern I have in this like list of options is the Holger sweater. This one is definitely like, this looks like a homemade hand knit sweater. The sleeves are different colors. The neck and the hem are different colors. So I think it would be a good way to use up scraps. And because of that, I might wait to make this until I have like a decent amount of scraps that kind of go together to make the sweater. But I thought it was cute, and it could be cute to have like matching like exact matching sibling sweaters of this kind of mismatchy patchy sweater. So I think this one, if I make it, I'll save it for another time when I have enough odds and ends from different projects to pull together and make like a cohesive looking sweater. The next two sweaters are more thick stripe sweaters. The first one is the Fancy Jacques Sweater Junior by Johanna Gerich. I love the look of this sweater, that it has this vertical stripes at the top and then horizontal stripes beginning underneath. I think it looks so unique. It looks different from all the other stripy sweaters that are out there. And yeah, I love the look of the sweater. The only thing that's stopping me from like going full in on this sweater is that I'm not sure how that pickup edge is gonna look like under the vertical stripes where you pick up to do the body and the round. I'm assuming. I feel like there could be a weird bump happening there, and the reason I'm thinking that is because of looking at some of the project photos. Yeah, this sweater is one that I like the look of the sweater by itself, but when it's on, I don't love the look of it as much, which has never happened before. So it's definitely still on my radar. Oh, yeah, seeing these pictures again, I'm like, yeah, this is the one I want to make. I want to do this one. And you know what? I'm sure that like pickup edge would flatten out a bit with blocking, because that's what happens with other, like for example, drop shoulder sweaters, like picking up, well, any sweater where you're picking up stitches, it generally like flattens out a little bit. I don't know. So that's the one kind of thick striped sweater. The other one is the Sibling Sweater by Laura Penrose. I love this pattern, and right now this is the one that I'm leaning more towards making. I do like the attention to detail she has for the, like on the shoulder, the stripes look so good, like along the shoulder and where everything connects. It looks really beautiful. I love that it's called the Sibling Sweater, because that's what I want to make. I want to make sibling sweaters for my two kids. I love that they can be different colors, but still totally look like they are sibling sweaters, like that they go together. So yeah, this is the one that I'm really, like as of right now, I will be doing this one. But again, when the day comes to actually cast it on, we'll see what happens. The last kind of category I have for my fall knitting plans for this year is just some like general winter accessories for myself and like for my family, my kids. I don't think I have any plans for, well, maybe I do. Starting off with toques. So first of all, the Musselburgh by Isolde Teague is on my radar. I have knit a Musselburgh before. Loved it. It was a great experience. I love the result. So that's definitely one that I would like to knit again, maybe this fall, for either myself or my kids. The Hipster Hat by Petite Knit is also on my radar as like a nice ribbed hat for winter. I think the ribbing would be nice for hats for my kids, because then you just get that like more stretch and it fits longer, I feel like, yeah, it can fit as their head grows. I feel like more than a just stockinette pattern. I did actually cast on a hipster hat for my son in navy yarn, but I'm really not enjoying this yarn. I feel like it's going to be very scratchy. It's a Briggs & Little yarn, so it is quite rustic. I'm not totally loving how it's feeling while I'm knitting it and like the fabric of it. So I might rip it out and opt for like a different yarn to do. But I think the pattern looks really beautiful and I would like to make it. I also would like to try making felted slippers for my whole family. My plan is to rip out my Wednesday sweater that I made last year, probably around this time last year, because I hate it, and use that yarn to make felted slippers. I do not know how to say the name of this pattern, so I'll just put a photo here and a link in the description. Yeah, our house gets quite cold in the winter. Slippers are great. I have the yarn. I've never tried felting before. I think it could be a fun project. I also think making just some like basic mittens for my kids would be a good project to include for the fall. Maybe something that matches whatever hat I decide to make them, like with the same yarn. I can't say the name of this pattern as well, so I'll just put it up there. Yeah, just, and like this is, it might not be this pattern, but just like a basic pair of mittens. And I liked the look of the, like the different colored cuff. Yeah, I thought it was really pretty. So that is, I think that's the last thing that's in my fall 2024 plans bundle on Ravelry. That brings us to the end. Like I said, I'm absolutely not going to be able to knit all of these things. It's more like choosing one or two things from each category and then either pushing other things to the winter or yeah, just choosing one or two things and being like done with that category for now and then choosing something else totally different for winter. Let me know what your fall knitting plans are. And yeah, I hope you can find the time and the energy to make all the things you want to make this fall. Have a good couple weeks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.